Hi, I'm Ben.
Hi, I'm Claire.
And we are
Hi Jinx.
And I think I should pass over to Claire here, because this is her baby.
Well, kind of. Well, no, it started off as a shared baby.
Yeah.
But it's become more of my baby only because I've been drinking so much of it. But
Yeah.
basically, we are going to talk today about this absolutely stunning bottled product. Do you want to hold that a bit closer to the camera? Called Mermaid Gin. Now, Grace and Narina, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry if you get any PTSD from this Mermaid Gin. We did drink some of it on New Year's on Madeira, and there were a few sore heads in the morning, so apologies for that. But this remains one of my favourite discoveries of 2019. So we came across this gem at Juniperlooza, wasn't it?
Well, actually, I found it
You had come across it before.
Because it used to be in a different bottle.
Yes.
It's an older bottle. And I did a concert on the Isle of Wight, which is where it's from.
Yep.
And found this stuff and was like, oh, this is quite interesting. And then when we found it and they rebranded it, put it in the bottle, not that the bottle makes it taste different, but it just drew our attention to it again in a different way.
I mean, everybody from across the room was like, oh, look at that beautiful bottle. But then we tried it and we were just absolutely pumped.
Because you quite like your sort of saline, savoury, herbaceous.
So I'm gonna like
things.
Normally we drink it and then talk about it, but I'm gonna start the episode by telling you guys how I describe this to my friends because people just love it. I always tell them.
Pour myself a gin whilst you do that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to listen to me talk too long. So I say that this gin tastes like rocks, and people are like, what? How can a gin taste like rocks? What I mean is this: you know when you've been to the beach and you go swimming in the ocean, and so it's like a rocky beach where there are some rocks on the side. You climb out of the ocean, you lie down on the warm rocks, and the sea water goes off your body onto the rocks, and then it evaporates. And as it evaporates, you sort of smell the mineralness, the saltiness of the sea, and the minerals and everything from the rocks. The minerality of the rocks. That to me is what this gin tastes like. So when I drink this gin, it makes me feel, being from New Zealand, I'm obsessed with the beach, I'm obsessed with the sea. My happy place is being on a beach on a warm day and going swimming in the ocean and smelling that scent. So I'm just absolutely psyched about
this. Got me through this summer. I spent the summer working in a opera festival in France, and I think it will surprise nobody to say that I had an absolutely dreadful time. Awful festival, never worked there. But this gin got me through it. It's beautiful, and it just reminded me of the UK. Like you say, all of those sort of images. It just made me think, life's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
In between the stresses of one thing and another.
Yeah.
That makes me sound very alcohol dependent, and you'd probably be right. But
you know, it gets us through a few things, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we're here. Yeah, it's that signature. You could spot this a mile off in a kind of nasal lineup, couldn't you?
Yeah. Very distinctive.
Really nutty elements of that sort of creaminess you get from white nut.
Very slight hint of sweetness in there. Mm. And it's the minerality.
So minerality, vegetal. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
You can imagine that. You can imagine the kind of cheap version of Mermaid Gin would be quite chalky.
Yeah.
Because it's
almost soapy.
Yeah, you can imagine people trying to recreate it. But that's what makes it so clever, the fact that it retains all of the characteristics of that vegetal aspect, the nutty aspect, and the there's still enough juniper in there to make it very obviously a gin.
Yeah.
It keeps all of those things in check without sort of kind of dissolving into a bit of a mess.
I think so.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there. It's probably not like your entry point. I wouldn't try this as like your first ever gin to try.
Maybe not, but I have to say that everybody that I've introduced this to has really, really liked it. My Kiwi friends who didn't know as much about gin absolutely loved it. Hence the
earthy, almost like a kind of swill.
Yeah. So that's the thing, isn't it? It's that sort of.
You get more as you sort of go on. Should we make a wee little G&T?
I think so. Yeah.
Should we do that?
Dump them in and then a bit of ice.
Ice. You can tonic, baby.
Are we going to do light or standard?
What do you need to do? Let's do standard.
Well, standard's open, so.
You're open.
Open for business.
Is that your way of reminding the world that you're single?
That's not open, is it?
Dunno.
I lied. Oh well, it's open now.
Claire Filer, open for business.
Yes.
So all you single people out there.
Yep. Single Pringle. So we're putting some pink peppercorns in our gin.
Is that enough?
No, not too much. I have to be responsible. Yeah, so the pink peppercorns go really beautifully with this because they add, again, they go with the sort of the slightly sweet spice element. They're slightly earthy, but you know.
You can see the oil in there, which is quite fun. And that means that's to do with the process of compression and distillation, how they get basically the botanicals to work. But there ain't no fake stuff in here.
No. Really love what the pink peps do. The other thing is it's great.
It elevates it slightly, doesn't it?
Pink peppercorns is something you can just have in the cupboard, so like you don't have to go out and buy a garnish to have with this gin.
They're dried, they'll last for years.
Exactly. So, you know, this can become a bit of a go-to because you don't need a fresh orange.
Just keep it with your tub of salt in the cupboard.
I have a whole dried garnish
Do you
section.
want to do yours? Because I know you're very particular about the amount of tonic you don't put in your gin.
50-50 for me, especially with this one because this gin is so smooth and gorgeous. It really does not need a lot of tonic.
I'm a 60-40 man, I think.
Oh, that is so lovely.
Lovely.
It's really lovely.
The gin is strong enough that it holds the characteristics, the minerality and the earthy elements of it hold up.
Yeah.
Whilst melding the sweetness of the tonic into it. So
it's such a distinctive
It's quite
flavour.
a cogent drink. It's not disparate. It melds really well into.
Yeah. Like I think this makes such a beautiful gin and tonic.
I was gonna say it's made for tonic water.
Yeah.
In that way.
And this is sort of such a lovely cocktail to have outside, for example, New Year's in Madeira, drinking this outside in the sun. May have resulted in sore heads, but was absolutely perfect.
Just a slight sore head. So you're allowed slightly sore heads on New Year's Day, right?
I mean, it would be a bit rude not to have a sore head.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not like vomiting and kind of making appointments with a Great White Telephone, I think you're absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. You're fine. As long as you remember the fireworks, eh?
As long as you remember the fireworks and you remember the name of the person that you spent them with.
Yeah,
that's it. That's basically the deal. Although to be honest, if you don't remember the name of the person you spent the fireworks with, at least that probably means the gin was good.
Yeah, gin is more important.
This is probably the sort of gin that might make you forget who you spent your fireworks with because the gin will overrule the person. It's that good, right?
It's true. It is seriously good. It's really, really beautiful.
Really, really beautiful. Yeah. So basically, this is a real gin and tonic gin. You should have a bottle of this. If you're really into your gin, just have this. You know, we were talking in an earlier episode about short cross gin, and you know the wonderful thing about the kind of British take now on the sort of Spanish citral summer gins. This is a bit of a winter gin, isn't it? In that earthy sort of vegetable element.
Or it's more like an English summer gin.
Yeah, maybe.
An English coastal summer gin.
There's something biting
because it's
about
still,
it.
Well, exactly. It's still kind of cold. It's still kind of chilly.
Yeah.
So it's like I remember once I went for a swim in Cornwall, and it was May,
it's an
late
apt
May,
colour,
so it was almost summer. And I think I screamed for the first minute that I was in the water, and then my skin went numb and it was fine. But sort of that's what I think of the UK ocean. So that doesn't taste like, for example, the New Zealand ocean, because that to me is sort of warmer and greener. But that's like a cold,
bracing,
blue,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get it in your face.
Yeah, get your heart rate going. Yeah. All of that stuff. Like feels quite healthy.
Yeah.
Like if I've one of my 5 a day.
Yeah.
It's probably the closest I'm going to get to one of my 5 a day. You know,
yeah.
But, you know,
probably some like vitamins and minerals in there.
I had loads of salad with my lunchtime kebab, so it's fine.
Oh, that's right then.
Cheers.
Cheers.